You cannot make six figures unless and until you dedicate yourself. That is a misconception that a lot of people don't understand, that they just think that, I got a job, I'm good. No, you're doing your 9 to 5, but what are you doing 5 to 9? With the exotic stuff is that we're coming out with so many different plans for people where it's like, it's a win-win for everybody. There's no need for a car to just be standing in your garage. I mean, you tell me, can you drive a Lamborghini in Chicago for under $1,000 a day?
Welcome guys, another episode of Elite Entrepreneurs. Today my guest, Usman Malik. He's the owner of Exotic Car Rentals. How's it going, my brother?
Good, brother. How you doing, man? Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming out here, man, and sharing your journey. Yep. So, man, I know you got all the exotics, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, you can name it. You have it on your fleet. Yep. So tell us, man, how'd you get started with this, man?
So, man, I wouldn't say a couple years ago, a couple months ago, I just had somebody come on by, I've always wanted to have it where, I drive the cars for free. Don't want to pay for them, and other people are paying for them. So I had met this person named George. He's one of my business partners. He's the founder, and I just kind of jumped in, invested a little bit. We got, with him, I think now I got like 3 or 4 cars. I mean, he has a fleet of 17, 18 cars now. So I'm like you said, you name it, we got it. So right now, I'm just looking at expanding, looking to get more people on board. So I always just believe that there's no reason to buy an asset that's depreciating, right? Because I can buy the car, especially living in Chicago, man, with the potholes and the weather we have. There's no need for a car to just be standing in your garage and it's going to be there for, let's say, I don't know. How often would you drive your car, man? 4 months of the year? Yeah. So it doesn't make sense. So I wanted something where, we run that. So we have some stuff set up in Chicago. We also have some stuff set up in Miami. So most of my cars, eventually around November time, as soon as the first snow hits, ship out our cars to Miami, and then everything just runs in Miami completely, and it's like on autopilot for us.
Oh, it makes sense, because for exotics, you don't drive them every day. Nope. Maybe take them on the weekends. So you buy an exotic, and you're making cash flow from these cars, and plus you're driving exotic cars.
Yep, that's what it is. So yes, there's people out there who have enough funds, who are in the 8 figures, 9 figures, whatever, who will go, I don't mind driving an exotic. But I mean, any person like our age, you're never gonna, it's really rare where you're gonna daily an exotic, right? I mean, if you really are, then hey, good for you, kudos. But a lot of the times people have that same scenario of hey, the more miles I put on, I'm losing value, or repairs come up. I mean, these things are not cheap, right? You chip your front bumper,
thousands.
it's thousands, right? I mean, the paint corrections, getting the right paint, first of all, getting the right appointments. That's what matters the most. So all of these things come into factor. So a lot of people, the smarter ones I guess I've seen, they won't get it. Well, they'll do a lease, right? Which is great. But again, at the end of the day, you're still losing money. The car sits there. You're paying insurance. You're paying all this. So we have so many programs where I've been telling a lot of people, get a car, come talk to me. We can make a lot of things happen for you where you just drive the car for free. We're taking care of your maintenance. We're taking care of so much more. But it's just, there's just, I want to keep my car. And it's all right, well, can't help you with that.
No, makes sense. So before you even got to the exotic car rental business, you were in IT.
Yep.
Tell us about that. How did you transition from IT to having a 7-figure business?
So I've been in IT since I was about the age of 19. And then obviously, you heard something called COVID happen. So once COVID happened, I saw an open market, right? Open market as in there was a point where there was about 7 jobs to 1 person, because it was just a lot of openings happened. A lot of the stuff went automated. You can work from anywhere in the world. So at that time, I sat down and I took that as an advantage and as an opportunity to go, you know what? I'm going to start consulting. I'm going to start teaching. I'm going to try to help people out. So at first, I was kind of doing it for free with a couple of my friends. Hey, I know, I'll tell you what to do. I've been in the market for long enough. Then I started to realize, you know what? It'll be kind of fun if I get a little bit of a kickback. So that came out. So the IT just went, from 2020 May to about, up until even beginning of this year, it's been a ride. It's been a really, really booming ride. Of course, 23 was bad. That was bad for everybody, especially if you're in the IT industry. A lot of people can agree with that. We took a big hit. A lot of layoffs, people getting let go. You got fired. Companies didn't have the budget. So all of those things happened, and after that, it was just, it's been a spiral now. But I was glad that, I was last year around October, I invested in this business, and I was glad that I did that.
That's pretty insane, man.
Yeah.
So you went from the IT, you transitioned because of COVID. COVID took a lot of businesses out, man.
Yeah. But see, the thing is, with people who were able to work from home, we had the security, right?
Yeah.
Because now a lot of people are we're on lockdown. Great, right? So there's a lot of people now, even right now too, I when I get openings and I'm reaching out to candidates, a lot of candidates are in the verges of, I don't want to go to the office.
Right.
Right? And a lot of companies realize that, when they were working in COVID, when you were looking at percentages, some companies said that our work environment and our work, like, I guess, efficiency increased by 60% or more.
Oh, wow.
So there's a lot of people, because, think about it, right? You just had a baby. A lot of people had babies too in COVID, right?
Yeah.
So you have
COVID
a kid.
Babies.
Yeah, COVID babies, exactly. I did too. Yeah. So, it's the best thing for you. Like me as a father, I got to see my kid with the first crawl, the first step, the first word. I'm talking about everything from A to Z. It was just like, oh my God, like, I didn't miss all these things. So, my parents said it to me too, that, hey, you guys are lucky. We didn't get to do that because my dad was a cab driver, just another, regular brown guy trying to make it work. So it was like, seeing him with us and the time I wasn't able to spend with him. COVID, in a way, yes, I hated it. And of course, a lot of people lost their loved ones. People got sick, which of course it sucks. It's never okay. But it kind of gave me that opportunity to just sit down. You can't go anywhere, right? You eventually get tired of looking at each other if you're married, right? Or even if you live with your girlfriend, whatever. So you're sitting there like, what can I do to keep busy? So that's where it all started. I was like, man, I'm done after 5.
Right.
I have nothing to do. I can't go anywhere, man. Right? If I'm going somewhere, I'm putting everybody's life at risk. So that's when it just came to me that, dude, you know what? Like, I can.
You just need to adapt.
Yeah. Like,
so
it's just.
I feel like the real hustlers, they started adapting to, hey, I can't go outside and work or not, a job anywhere in the office.
Correct.
I have to work at home.
Yeah.
And now I have to adapt. I have to figure out another way to make income sitting at home.
Correct. So it's like, you're doing your 9 to 5, but what are you doing 5 to 9?
Yeah.
Right? Even if it's 4 hours.
Yeah.
Screw it. Do 2 hours a day.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you myself, dude, I'm not saying, oh, yeah, dude, like, oh, I'm so dedicated. No. I just kind of saw an opening, kind of took it, right? And it was like, yes, it's hard. Yes, it's not easy. A lot of people said, you'll be like, yo, I can just be a consultant tomorrow. Great. Good for you if you can. But there's a lot of hits that you take that you do not see coming, man. Because I can have, let's say, for example, you and I, you take my, even if you don't take my course, you come to me, you're like, hey, I need a job. Cool, got you a job. I don't get paid as a consultant for the first 3 months. So for the 90 days, I'm not going to make a penny off of you, right? So even if I got a rate, let's say $90, and I paid you $80, so the 90 days that you worked, I'm not getting that cashed out up until the 3rd month. So now if you got fired before then, I don't get any money.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it sucks.
So you get paid when they're actually putting in the work.
They complete the 90-day marker, yes. So yes, not all the consultants have it like that. Yes, no, they don't. Because some consultants are tier 1, tier 2. So obviously me being a small company running out of my house, I do have an engineer of about 25 people that work for me, which was awesome, of course, but it's like, how much can we push out, right? Like, a lot of the people here will not talk to you if you don't come out of like Accenture, Booz Allen. These are one of the really, really big companies. Yeah, of course, there's a lot of little guys. But, you're going to have a Gaurav that calls you and says, oh, my name is John. You want a job? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that ruins the market a lot. And that's where people start to go like, oh, why would I work with you? I don't know you. I don't know your company. You're not on the board list or you're not on the tier list. And that is a big challenge that you have. That's a hurdle you got to hop. That's a big hurdle you got to hop.
That's awesome. So now you have you built multiple seven-figure businesses.
Yes.
So
now, yes,
before, the exotic business, now you're doing the exotic. Before that, you were in the IT business and you built that to 7 figures. Yep. And you're still doing that too, right?
Yep. So that's still running. Now I'm not working as of right now in IT, no. I have a couple of consultants in the market that kind of just, like I said, I get a little bit of a kickback of 20-30% from everybody. I kind of would just help people, kind of prep it up. So, like, the exotic business is what my main focus is right now, just because I know that, like, me just with 3 cars, I'm like, obviously, those cars I have my full ownership, whatever, and then me being partners with George, it's put us on the marker of that, that 7-figure moment, and it's like a free check you get every month, and then you get to drive whenever you like.
I feel like there's 2 things that our audience could benefit. The first one is if anybody wants a job nationwide in IT, they come to you, they reach out to you, and you can get them a job. You can get them trained up even if they have no experience. And the second thing is, if they have a little bit of capital, they could buy an exotic car, and you could help them find that exotic car, put them in your program, which we're going to talk about, how much, money that you need, how much, what's the ROI, how much can you make per year. So if you have a little bit of capital, you could do that. Put it in your program, make money there. So there's 2 things our audience could benefit reaching out to Usman Malik. So
I mean with IT, I'm sorry, I'm going to correct that there. So in IT, it depends what field you're in, right?
Okay.
So with this, I'm going to say yes, I'm more on the technical side, but a lot of people reach out, like a lot of the new guys that I speak to, they're like, hey, I want to change careers. So I tell a lot of guys that, hey, you know what, even if I can't help you, I'm going to direct you in the right direction. But now what happens with a lot of people, man, is, again, you cannot make 6 figures a year or a month unless and until you dedicate yourself.
Right.
That is a misconception that a lot of people don't understand, that they just think that, I got a job, I'm good. No. I mean, it's that is the first hurdle you got to hop. After that, keeping the job is what's hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So a lot of people come to me and I always tell them, hey, you know what? Start as a BA. That's the easiest route for you. But if you're a technical guy, yeah, for sure, dude. Like, you know, we can sit down. I can give you a full rundown how it's going to go down, what happens, what you need, who you need to talk to, get you connected with some recruiters, you know, and then we just kind of see whatever is up to you. Like, if it's meant for you, it's meant for you. If it's not, it happens, man. It happens with a lot of people. I mean, I'm not saying everybody I spoke to, I got them a job. No, of course not. I've had a lot of people that I wasn't able to place just because it's like interviews weren't there. They can't interview themselves. They need interview help, or they're just interview shy, right? Video shy, because, you know, you're doing a lot of virtual.
How long is the training? How long is the training from getting them started to getting them a job?
So
what's the education?
Before we used to do 6 weeks. Now we kind of did it. We go at your pace.
Okay.
So what we'll do is, like, we'll host a class. Let's say I do a class, right? And I got like 10 people. I'll do a class, and then obviously my instructor tells me, listen, dude, there's like 4 people that, man, I'm going to need to work a lot. So then what I do is I take those 4 guys, put them into a different batch, and then we slow down the course. So then we take that course into 12 weeks, 16 weeks, 18 weeks, so we go at their pace, right?
So
now,
there's some guys,
so there's some guys that are good, man. They pick it up, boom, 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 they're good to go. Those guys, I put them in the market within the first 2 weeks. But then there's some guys that are like 6th week in, they're like, yo, I have no idea what the hell I'm doing, you know? So that's always a challenge too. So you have to, so at first I wasn't realizing that, and then eventually I started to catch on to that. I was like, no, we got to change it up a little bit.
Makes sense. There's always, even in my real estate business, whenever I hire a sales guy, you could tell, hey, whenever I hire in batches of 3. Yeah. So I know out of the 2 out of the 3, they're going to be, you know, they're going to be fired. They're not really going to be performing. There's only this one guy that's going to be my top sales guy that's going to stay in the company for a longer period of time.
It's the same exact with us. I mean, we don't fire you, of course, but it's just like, now my expectations with you are different, then I'll have that one-on-one call with you, right?
They won't get that job. They won't be qualified to get that job.
So what I try to explain to a lot of people, like, oh, it's not fair. I was like, no, it's not about fair or not fair. Look, I don't want to place you in a company, because look, when you get fired or terminated or let go, whatever it might be, you're not just ruining an income. You're ruining a relationship for me, right? So what's more important to me, it's not about, I mean, money, of course, is important. I mean, nobody works other than that, right? But what's more important is that when my relationship gets ruined with a recruiter or with a vendor, it's a shit show then. Because now they're going, hey man, you vouched for this person. The person interviewed really well. What happened? And now you gotta understand, everybody's catching on that a lot of this culture of, hey, I run 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 jobs and I'm outsourcing it and companies are catching on. So then when you have that trust issue, that's when a lot of people back away from you. They're like, no, we're not gonna work with this company. So then building your respect back up in the market, it's very, very tough.
Does this happen where someone comes to you, they want to get a job, and you're like, after the 6-week, 12-week training, you're like, dude, this guy's not qualified. Even if I put him in the market, he's going to put a bad name in the rep.
So then with those guys, what I tend to do is, like, I have friends who teach like BA and stuff, so I'll kind of have that. Because, I mean, within 3 weeks, I know where you are, right? Yeah. So then if I see that technical side of the IT world is not for you, I will sit down and tell you that, listen, man, you know what? Look, I want you to succeed, right? Because I don't make money until you make money. Yeah. You know what I mean? So you succeeding is more important to me than it is to you. You know what I mean? So I'll go talk to one of my guys, anybody who's teaching a BA course or some other course that will actually get them through. So now everybody, I don't know if you've paid attention to this, but a lot of the times people had 2-3 week courses. Now everybody's extended those. Reason for that is because they started to realize that the longer I take, the more time I have to place everyone, 1, which is the most important part. 2, the more knowledge I can spread to other people. So the more knowledge I'm able to give to someone, they go, they succeed, and then what happens? Word of mouth, right? Just like with yourself, right? You know, you have your course, you know, you teach people, you get them up and running, and they do the real estate stuff. What happens? When you, let's say you taught me, and I made money with you now, I'm going to go rage about you to 10 more of my friends, right? So it's word of mouth. Like, oh, no, you got to work with Abdullah, man. That guy's the real deal, dude. Like, you know, I made this. Like, you're posting your, you know, your proof, which, you know, people take it however they want to take it, whatever. But again, you know, people lie, numbers don't lie. Like, I agree with that, right? So it's like when you're posting all of these things, people look at you and they're either going to go like, okay, I'm going to give this guy a try. You know, whatever your courses are, I'm not sure of your exact prices, you know, whatever you're running, which is great. But it's like, if you and I are to work together on something, I'm obviously going to go, hey, man, you know what? I made money with this guy. Yeah. You know, get in touch, man. This is the guy you got to go talk to. If you got the funds, dude, yes, of course.
That's the best type of referral.
It is.
I love when my students actually do well, make some money.
Correct.
And then they tell their friends. Yep. And, dude, that's the best type of marketing.
Yep. So that's the thing. So it's like
social proof, man. Everything's
exactly.
Social proof.
So now, obviously, when you tell somebody, when, you know, somebody comes and goes, oh, hey, how was this? Like, well, hey, man, I'm making like 140 with this guy, or I'm making 120, or I'm making 100. You're like, oh, okay, cool. Like, you know, da-da-da. So, like, Chicago market, not the greatest market to be in. So I touch it. I don't touch it a lot because here a lot of people have that tendency of like, I want it now, because I get it. It's an expensive city to be in. So now it's just like we're picking up in other places and all of that. So like even with the IT stuff, man, I've kind of just put it in the back burner. Like I said, it's not that like I don't like it or I don't enjoy it. It's just like the amount of stress you deal with, the profits are just not worth it, right? I mean, they're good. They're good. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I've seen a lot of six-figure months, right? A lot of the times, and they're great. They're awesome. You enjoy it, but they're not consistent. With the exotic stuff, is that we're coming out with so many different plans for people, where it's like it's a win-win for everybody on the table.
Talk about the programs for the exotic, because I'm getting a Lamborghini myself, and same type of concept. He was like, hey, you're not gonna drive this Lamborghini every single day. You're gonna drive it maybe on the weekend, take your wife out, go to the city, go for dinner. But usually, I'm not gonna daily it because I already have another car that I could daily. I have a Porsche SUV, so I'm just gonna daily that. But on the weekends, I want to take my Lamborghini out. But he's like, hey, you're only gonna drive this maybe
3-4 times a month.
3-4 times a month, right?
And then it just sits there.
Exactly. He's like, why do you want your asset that's worth $200,000+ just sitting there? Why don't you just make some money to where it just more money in your pocket? Yep. So I was like, man, talk about that program, man.
So we run like 2 to 3 programs, right? So one of the programs that I'm pushing for a lot these days is that I'm telling a lot of people that, like, let's say, I mean, man, I can get you connected with some guys, like, just being in the business for a while. I can get you connected with the guys. So basically what it is that program 1 is going to be, let's say you have a decent credit score, 650 plus, I would say at least. I mean, 680 usually, but let's just say 650, you have the income. Go put down a 10-20% deposit, go pick up the car. Now, a lot of people are like, dude, if I'm picking up a $200,000 car, that's $40K. Sure, fine, I understand that. But what we're doing is that you get the car, hand it off to us. We do your car payments, we pay for your insurance, we pay for your maintenance, okay? And on top of that, we're giving you a return every year for $30,000 to $40,000 per car that you put in with us. So now you decide, like you said, you're planning to buy a Lamborghini. You go buy the Lamborghini, come drop it to me. Now, anytime you need the car, like you said, you're going to use it 3-4 times of the month. Yeah. You're going to call me like, yo, Usman, my wife and I are going to go out, celebrate, whatever, small wins, big wins, anything. Or just for the hell of it. We're just going to go for a drive. You call me, you got to let me know at least 48 hours in advance. And of course, on that day, if your car or whatever car you put in the program with me is not booked, we simply come and deliver it to you, hand you the keys, go drive around, go have fun. Let me know when you're done. I'll send my guy, pick it up, goes back to the shop, goes back on rent. So that's one of the programs. The other one we started is like subscription programs. So a lot of the exotic car rental business in Chicago, they require you to put up enormous amount of down payment, right? There's a lot of companies. I mean, I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, but there's a lot of companies out there, $2,500, $5,000, $10,000 deposit to drive a Lamborghini. We don't have that. So we do no deposit. We just need you to have an insurance that fully covers the car. You come in, we give you a daily rate, whatever. So we do minimum 2-day rentals. Whatever you do, you come, we agree with something, and boom, car's yours. Go enjoy it. Go have fun with it. And obviously, any damage that happens under your, when you rented it, your insurance is going to cover it, right?
That's full coverage insurance. So anyone that's listening, if you want to rent an exotic, you get up with Usman. Yep. Where can they contact you for the rental?
So I mean, man, I just right now our website was like a little bit old school because the guy that I'm working with, he's a little bit older. So I'm actually building a new website, but you can look us up on curvyroad.com or just put my contact information at the bottom. They can give me a call directly. Usually that's what I'm handling. I'm doing a lot of the times that people send in inquiries or whatever. So my number is usually out there. So I'm kind of doing the sales, closing it up. Kind of just hit up my guy George, talk to him. He takes care of you, So obviously we have a delivery charge too. I mean, it's usually depending on the distance, but it's never more than $100 each way.
And you have the best prices in the market for exotics.
Oh right? Yeah, well, easily. I mean, you tell me, can you drive a Lamborghini in Chicago for under $1,000 a day? You tell me. Yeah. If you can, I'll give it to you for free. Yeah. Yes, that's
go for $1,000, $1,200.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen Lamborghinis in Chicago, man. They're up to $2,200 a day, $3,000 a day, and they require you pay $5,000 deposit, $2,500 deposit. I mean, yeah, Turo, sure, but what does Turo do? You rented a car for $500 a day, then they tell you trip fee, then they add the tax, then they want you to get the standard protection. You still coming out paying $1,400, $1,500. We don't have any hidden fees. Right. So when you came to me and said, hey, I want to do a 2-day event, and let's say you're taking a McLaren out, 570S, 2-day event, let's say it comes out at $1,650 with delivery. Yeah. We always have that wiggle room to kind of knock you down. Let's bring it down. So we try to work in your budget. Wherever we can, we try our best to do it. But obviously, we have to watch our profits.
You have different exotics for different budgets. Like correct. If you have a budget of $3,000, you're gonna get Rolls Royce, something more premium.
Yep.
If you have something around the 2,000, something around the 1,000 or less.
Yeah. So I mean, like that's what it is in Miami, right? So like here, we don't tend to keep more cars here. Only reason being is just because, dude, it's weather, man. I mean, it's so bad. Yeah. It's so much harder to manage. So usually in Chicago, we'll have anywhere between 7 to like 10 cars. But in Miami, you know, I have a couple other people that I work with. So we have our own like 8, 9 cars in Miami. And then I'll have a couple more friends that kind of jump in like, hey, man, you know what? Put 10 of my cars or 20 of my cars on your lot too. You know, you need them cars? Just let me know. So like, let's say you came into me in Miami. You're like, hey, I need a Cullinan. Let's say if I don't have my Cullinan on the floor, guess what? I'm going to make sure you got to get out of there in a Cullinan, right?
So you're in 2 states right now?
2 states right now. Well, we're going to eventually, inshallah, expand, but so far we're in 2 states right now, yes.
So Florida and Illinois?
Illinois, yes, sir.
Awesome.
Because California, too competitive. Vegas, I eventually want to go to, but it's just like, you need to have the guys, right? Because, I mean, you know, dude, you're not going to leave a $250,000 car with some guy you hired off of Indeed or LinkedIn or, you know, whatever it might be. It needs to be a really, really trusted source because, you know, you landed, let's say, at LAX. You're like, hey, I need the car delivered. I got to have somebody that's going to do that takes care of the cars. Maintenance are being done. The cars are being taken care of. They're being washed. They're being cleaned on every rental. And then, you know, it's just like a smooth ride for you where, you know, you land in LAX. Guy's already waiting for you, handed you the keys. He said, have a good day. Went over and walked around the car with you to make sure everything was fine. You're like, all right, awesome. You know, so we want you to have a pleasant experience with us.
So you have your connections, your resources, your people in those 2 states. And like you said, if you want to expand, it all comes down to systems, process, and people. That's how you're going to expand.
Yeah, I mean, I've only been in it for like, what, a year, a little bit. I mean, almost a year, actually. Not even that long, but it's just been, I mean, I doubted the business for such a long time, and now it makes sense that why so many people jump in this business just because it's like, it's just so lucrative. But what a lot of people tend to fail at is not having that client base. Right. So what I got lucky with is my business partner. He's been in this business for a little over 25 years. So with him, it's just been great, man. You know, it's just like constant pushing, constantly. Like I don't do much. I just go, hey, I have an interested party. He's like, sure, send it to me. Boom, it goes there. He runs down the car. He takes care of everything. He's handling the maintenance, and I'm just sitting there like, oh yeah, it's kind of fun. It's a good deal. It's a good trade-off. You know,
plus you get to drive an exotic.
I get to drive an exotic, exactly. So that's the best part about it. So you know, I always wanted something where I see the thing is okay. Look, I'll run you down. Right, let's run down numbers. $200,000 car, Lambo's going anywhere between 190, well, 180, upwards of 229. Right, like a Huracan, let's just say a 2017 with 20,000 miles. You're going to get, let's say, even with a really good credit, you're going to get about a 7% APR. So 7% on a $200,000, that's $14,000 a year. Right? Let's do it for 5 years. Right? 14 times 5, what is that? 50 and 4 to, you know, 70,000. You're already there. So let's say you bought the car at $200K, you're already at $270. When you're going to divide that and come down, you're looking at anywhere between $2,700, $3,500 a monthly payment. Right. Insurances on these cars they're not, you know, penny to the dollar. These things are expensive. Insurance going to run you anyone above 25 will run you, even with a great great driving record, between $1,300 and $1,800. So right there, you're spending $5,000, man. Right. You can almost afford $1 million home for $5,000. Yeah. So you see the investment plans? It's stupid. Now you drove that car, you took it up to 50,000 miles, because obviously you're going to enjoy the car. Let's say 40,000 miles. You bought it at 220 or 200, you are automatically lost 20 grand. Right? Now it's sat in your garage, you're paying for the maintenance. Oil changes are not so bad on a Huracan. They're like, you know, professionally done, $800 to $1,200. So, you know, you got to look at all those factors. So over time, you end up spending a lot more on the car than you actually enjoy the car.
Well, it makes sense. With the program, you can actually recoup your investment within the next few years.
So, I mean, so look at it, right? Let's say you went and bought a Huracan at 200,000, 17,000 miles. You come and give me a call. You put down 10%. That's what, $217 or $21,000, right? Or let's just go at 200, 20 grand. You put down, you came and talked to me. The first year, I'm already giving you 30 to 40,000 in profit. You broke even on that car, right? Now, let's say you kept the car in the program with me for 3 years. At 20,000 miles, you bought it. Each year, you're never gonna go across 10,000 miles. You're not. We average about 7,000 miles a car on a year, even if it goes a lot, right? So 21,000 miles later, 3 years, 7,000 a mile a year. You're at 41,000 miles. You bought the car at 20K. Remember, in those 3 years, each year I pocketed you 30,000. Let's just say we're staying there. You already made the 90,000 here. Your Lamborghini at 40,000 miles is still gonna go for 180, 190, 175, which I'm gonna make sure I put on the market and sell for you. So now, yes, you lost a 25,000 or your $20,000 down payment. Fine, but you made 90,000, and in additional, you sold the car for 175. So you do the math. Look where it puts you.
You may basically make half the car back. Right?
Correct. Right now,
so
you didn't lose any money.
A Lamborghini for like what, 100 and some thousand?
Yeah. Not even that. Like you didn't lose any money, right? You got the money back. You're like, oh, this is awesome. And on top of that, you got to drive it without taking care of it.
Yeah.
Like you can literally take your car, be a hood rat, go crazy with the car, do burnouts, do donuts. It's your car.
And basically drive the car for free.
You drive the car for free. Now you bring it back to me. You're like, oh, dude, I need maintenance done. Okay, sure. You crash it, whatever the hell you do. I mean, God forbid you do that. But let's say you do that. Your insurance, my insurance, we all jump in, we figure it out, and we make sure that our client does not take the bigger hit. And obviously, man, anybody that puts their cars into a business, none of them treat their cars badly, right? They always respect us. It's like, oh, it's my, it's my breadwinner, right? This is my earner. It earns me money. I need to respect it. And of course, some people do, and it's okay. It's your car. Do as you please. But you gotta understand that the more beat up of a car you have, the less chances I have for it to be off the floor more often. So it's hard to make that to make people understand that part.
Oh, makes sense, man. Makes sense. So yeah, if you guys are looking to get into the exotic rental business, Usman Malik's the guy. We're gonna put his contact information. Where can they reach you?
Usually, man, best way to do it, social media or my cell phone. Honestly, I'm on the phone probably 16 hours of the day. So
Gotcha.
Best way to reach me is give me a call, shoot me a text. I don't reply. Yes, leave me voicemails. I listen to voicemails too, man. Shoot me a text and all.
What's your Instagram handle?
At imaliks1k. I'll just put it out there. I'll tell you, and you can just put it there. Add me up there. I mean, I'm not too social media active, like I said, just because of the factor of like always being on the phone, man. With the IT stuff and the car stuff, there's just so much that I don't even have that kind of courtesy to, oh yeah, I'll follow you back or Yeah, it's too much.
Yeah, if you want, reach out to him if you're interested in getting a job in IT, if you're interested in renting an exotic rental, or if you want to get into the exotic rental business, you could show them the ropes.
Yep.
And I know you have your own program and stuff like that, so you could help them out.
Yep.
So yeah, make sure, guys, reach out to Usman Malik. I appreciate you coming out here.
Yeah, of course, man. Thank you for having me, brother.
Another guest. Oh, man. My pleasure, man. Another guest at the Elite Entrepreneur. And guys, make sure you like and subscribe if you like this type of content, if you like this podcast, and many more to come.